Back here at Daytona International Speedway, of course, duels continue for the Florida Cabinet Distributors. Duels in Daytona, 100 miles each. You're seeing 200 miles. You saw 100 miles, 40 laps earlier. And now we settle in for the final duel. And Jacob Reeves, I'm Wesley Outland. Cody Knott is now in the production chair, as always, filling in for our buddy, Mr. Dean Hopton. Tim Hammond, thanks for him. And Jacob, primarily, as we set the stage now for duel number 2, the first duel, if it's kind of quiet, the second duel is chaos and calamity. Hopefully, the drivers of duel 2 can take a page off of what we saw from duel 1 and then have a battle out there for the finish like we've seen. It was a good one when Chris Cinnamon picked up the victory.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was calm, cool, collected till probably about turn 4 on the last lap, and then that's where everything went crazy pretty much. But, I mean, that's what you're going to get. I said it in the last, or in Duel 1. That's what you're going to get when you go to Daytona. If you don't see a big old crash, then odds are everybody got a good stern talking to, either that or they just wasn't trying. And, I mean, you basically got everything you wanted out of that Duel 1. And I talked about it in Duel 1, Wesley. If these guys right here, if they were watching what happens in Duel 1, that's how you do it. They have got a lot of expectations because, I mean, I've been in this situation, Wesley, where you race in a certain duel and you want to, you got that little bit in your heart that you want to outdo the other one. You just always want to be, this is the one that everybody talked about. So these boys right here, every single one of them, they had to have watched duel number 1, and I'll bet you right now that every single one of them probably told each other before he started, hey, we got to step it up because we're supposed to be the all-stars here for these duels.
Let's see what happens here now in duel number 2 as the field is rolling off of pit road. You're going to find Luke Smith and Cole Larson, the son of J.D. Larson, on the front row in that number 20 machine. Row 2 will find Matt Cherry in the 54 and the Mad Dog, the Bulldog tonight, Adam Newton in the 19. Row 3, Chad Ross in the 38 and Stephen Gregory ready for another season in the 61. Row 4 will find Adam Newbert, the inaugural NASRA Truck Series champion from Toccoa, Georgia. Stephen Thomas to his outside there, Jacob. And to move on to row 5, Shane Trotter and Fred Lester.
Then you got Aaron Van Roddel, or I'm sorry, I might be pronouncing that one wrong, but he is going to be 11th. How about this? Justin Lumpkin. Happy to see Justin Lumpkin back here racing here this evening, and what a feel-good story it would be for Justin Lumpkin to get the win here tonight in Duel 2. Kerry Tribune, old teammate of mine, and Taylor Peacock, 13th and 14th. Watch out for Peacock. He knows how to get it done on the super speedways. Ryan Murphy, roll off P15. Raul Meza in 16th. Phil Pappas and Joshua Suss, 17th and 18th. And Alabama born Jonathan Cofield's going to start 19th, and that will be the 19 drivers here in the field. Also, Tim Hammond back there. Excuse me, Tim. Sorry, we forgot you, buddy.
Well, here's the deal. 40 laps, 100 miles, as we forementioned. This track, again, 2.5 miles, 31 degrees of banking, that 4,000-foot back straightaway, known as the super stretch. These guys will be coming to the green flag, it looks like this time, as the lights are off on the safety truck. And again, no stages, no stage 1, 2, or 3. It's 100 miles, 40 laps, men. Strap in, fans, hold on. Here they come, down to the line. Duel number 2, ready to come to the green here in the Florida Cabinet Distributors. Duel 2 is underway here in Daytona. Luke Smith, Cole Larson, right there side by side. Put Larson in the purple truck on the bottom of the racetrack, and they're going to work their way into the turn number 1.
How about this right here? Adam Newton in the 19. He's trying to rock with Cole Larson. They're trying to make some moves, but Luke Smith, he has got Cherry all over his tailgate. Right behind him, Chad Ross in the 38 trying to rock his Adam Newbert. We talked about him. Adam Newbert knows how to get it done in the number 4. He's trying to rock as well, but Luke Smith all by himself. Cherry and Larson, they're going to go for second. Now Cherry's going to get by. Ross is going to get by. Larson falling through the field with Adam Newton on his tailgate.
Boy, that Purple Crush sounds good to me. I wish I had some in my refrigerator right now, but it's really, really delicious soda, as it is the colors that are on the machine of Luke Smith. Put a 1 lap on the board. Larson representing the Arctic Blast Mountain Dew colors right there alongside. My goodness, they're making me thirsty here in the early going, and they're going to go door to door into 1.
Yeah, absolutely. It's slipping and sliding, making some moves back here. Adam Newbert jumps up to the top side, was on the bottom, jumps up top. Now Trotter in the 22, he's going to jump up to the inside. Inside lane will advance. Stephen Thomas down on that bottom side as well. Fred Lester, Justin Lumpkin trying to rock as well as Kerry Tribute. But up front, Luke Smith, sole possession of the lead. Cherry and Larson going for second.
Thanks for everybody for hitting that button and resetting with us. Hit that subscribe. And by the way, hit share. Promote the races that we have here on the NASCAR 360 Racing Network. Still a long way to go in this one. Only two in. Luke Smith and Larson door-to-door. Cherry Newton door-to-door. Ross Gregory door-to-door. Oh, Trotter Newbert door-to-door as well, as they're all going at it again now with Luke on the clearing two.
And this is very, very similar to what we saw in duel number one, Wesley. Everybody going too wide, double wide, and just being calm right now. Nobody making any crazy moves. Nobody really wanting to go three wide. Nobody wanting to shove it up the middle. Everybody keeping it cool right now for this first 3 laps of this 40-lap sprint here in duel number 2. Smith up front. Cherry and Larson still going for second.
It is now Luke Smith down on the inside. Give him plenty of room for that spot right now. Larson up top. They right now still stay door to door. Nobody jumping out of line. Shades of what we saw at the start of the first duel. We're seeing here now in duel 2. Remember, this sets the lineup for the big Daytona 250 next Monday night to launch the new season. Back straight away. The leaders are going to try to go 3 wide if Cherry can get something going as well.
That's Gregory.
Gregory, actually.
Stephen Gregory jumps up to the top side. Taylor Peacock thought about going with him and thought different. Now Newbert thinks about going to the top side. They're starting to make some moves a little early on here in duel number 2.
And somehow keep in line side by side. They did not break out of line. Gregory tried to get something going, got access denied. Thunder through the tri-oval. It is the purple truck. It is the crush machine. Luke Smith trying to crush the competition. Still a long way to go, and they're door-to-door in turn 1.
Door-to-door, Larson up top. Luke Smith down on the bottom side. Cherry trying to rock as well as Adam Newton. Chad Ross up here with Adam Newbert Trotter trying to rock on the inside as well. And don't count out, like I said, that 81. I've got my eye on Taylor Peacock here in this race as he makes a big move up top. Hammond was coming with a full head of steam and Peacock cut him off. But here comes Luke Smith. Still got the lead, but the action is going on around the 10th spot.
Here comes that diamond formation working off of turn 4 again. Everybody now bobbing high, low, middle to find a spot for their best liking. There goes that a third lane. It's led by Gregory. Gregory's got some help in the likes of that also man behind him. All this going on, I believe that's Taylor Peacock. Peacock up the high side. Here comes the 69, Timmy Hammond from the production chair to the front here in Daytona up on the top shelf.
Woo, boy, it's getting good up here. Now Gregory jumps up on the top side. They're going to do the same exact thing that happened in duel 1, maybe just a little bit quicker. Gregory up top. Peacock up top as well. Newton's going to go to the middle. Larson down on the bottom side. It sounds like a hell of a law firm, like you would say, Wes.
Yeah, right now we're watching them here work off of turn number 4 down to the tri-oval here. 3 wide. Now the outside lane gets swallowed up again. It's Gregory now. He had a shot to the lead. It now diminishes. Larson, Gregory, and Newton now door to door for the lead. 3 wide into 1.
I'm telling you what, I kind of like the spot back there where Kerry Tribute is, just kind of just wanting to stay out of all this because Newbert all over Newton's back bumper, all over the tailgate. Newbert kind of getting a little bit shaky back there in the number 4 right in front of the 38 of Chad Ross. Now, here goes Gregory. He slips back. Peacock's going to hang him out. Gregory's going to go all the way to the back unless he gets just a little bit of help up there. Doesn't look like he's going to get a whole lot as Larson leads him off turn 4.
And it's right now Larson holding on, but not for long. Here comes now a changeup in position. Here comes Larson, Luke Smith. He thought about peeking up under, didn't get him. Newton now in the dogfight. Here comes the Bulldog, door to door. They climb the banking, heading to turn 1 to put lap number 7 on the board.
Larson and Newton going at it. Newbert right behind him. Chad Ross there as well. How about Jonathan Cofield started 19th in the field in the number 58. And here he is trying to get up here. Timmy Hammond, he's got Kerry Tribute. They're going to rock on that outside lane, and they've got a lot of friends. Hammond, Tribune, and Pappas shoved their way all the way to the outside lane. Newbert almost door-banged him straight into the wall. Larson still got the lead, but they're 3 wide for second.
And here they come again, working off that corner off of turn number 4, down to the line, this time by working now. Larson, Smith, Newton, Hammond, Cherry, top 5. Look at them scatter, littering down into turn number 1. They'll funnel back into the corner, and they're still going to go 3 wide in the banking.
Larson still down on the bottom side. Newton still in the middle, and Hammond all the way up in the penthouse. Gregory found him a little bit of love up there. He's going to go with Hammond. He's going to go with Tribune. He's also going to go with Pappas. They're going to have a little run. Larson still got Smith right behind him. Newbert still rocking with Newton. Here comes Hammond. Hammond with a full head of steam. He's got all the way up to the door. Now they're going to slip back. Outside lane's going to fall back just a tick, or will they get the high side tickler run on the outside off 4?
Hold on to that spot again as here they come, working their way down into the corner, up high again one more time. It is Larson, it is Hammond. Now it is Newton, Smith, Tribune in the mix. It's Larson locked to the bottom. They're 3 wide again, just like the last lap. It's deja vu here in Daytona.
And how about this right here? Newbert and Newton are the only 2 in the middle lane. Everybody has either went top or bottom. Big slide right behind him. Cherry gets almost knocked out of the way. He may end up going to the back. No, that's Chad Ross looking to possibly go to the back. Timmy Hammond all the way from the back will shoot all the way up to the lead and jump straight down in front of Larson. Here comes Newton. He's going to hang out Tribune and Pappas. Hammond and Newton going for it at the lead off 4.
Thundering through 4, down to the line, inside. Here comes the 19. That's Adam Newton working on the inside. Plenty of room given to the other drivers. Tribune, now Hammond. Look at Hammond with a burst of momentum on the bottom. Cuts up in front of Larson. Now it's Newton, the new leader, as they thunder off the back straightaway.
It would be wild to see Timmy Hammond win here in duel number 2, coming from the broadcast booth all the way down to the racetrack and racing and trying to get it here in duel number 2, but he's got to fend off 20 other drivers. We'll see how it works out for him. Newton still got the lead. Hammond sits second. Larson third. Top 3's clear. Smith trying to make it 4 off 4.
Inside bottom, Newton holding on to that position. Here they come down to the line. By the way, speaking of Daytona, we got the big race for NASRA in the DSR Electric Truck Series next Monday night, but another race on the horizon is also the NASRA 500 presented by the Glass Mechanic right here at the Virtual World Center of Racing. Speed Weeks in Daytona, February 7th through the 8th to the big Saturday night 500-miler. You don't want to miss it as the field works their way to the back stretch. Heading into turn number 3, it's still Hammond in front. Hammond now the new leader in the 69.
Hammond up top. He's going to have Tribune trying to rock with him. And up top, it was Adam Newbert trying to rock as well. He's got Cofield right behind him. Hammond gets squarely off 4 as they come to the line. This is way better than duel number 1. But can they hold it? Newbert door banging with Pappas at the line.
Inside, Hammond holding on up top with Newton on the bottom. Here comes now also Larson again, right back in the battle. Newton, Hammond, Larson, and they're not done yet. We're going to go to the back stretch side by side still.
Newton still keeping it down on the bottom side. Hammond still rocking. They went from 3 wide back to 2 wide racing. More help down on the bottom side. A couple of guys back there in the back electing to jump up to the top side and maybe help this outside lane advance and help out on Timmy Hammond. Newton clear for just a second. Here comes Hammond with another full head of steam in the help of Kerry Tribune.
Hammond not backing down one iota, stays locked to the outside lane. Kerry Tribune's going to be the wingman with him. Now on the inside lane, it is still going to be Adam Newton. Newton's got Larson behind him, so is also Smith. No changes. Things begin to calm down here a little bit around lap number 15, 13 on the board. The leader is Newton back on the back straighter in Trent.
Yeah, but usually, I mean, when it calms down, usually they start to get spicy. They're already getting a little bit spicy back there. Was that Peacock that got up into the wall? No, that was Cofield. Cofield tried to shoot around Cherry, and there was no hole. He'll fall back in line. These boys are absolutely getting after it right now. West of the Outlet coming off turn 4.
Do you think about going 3 or 4 wide? When do you think about coming down pit road? We saw green flag pit stops, remember, right around the halfway mark, just around this time of the race, between lap 15 and 20. We saw them peel onto the pit lane. Right now, we're all even Steven, and Adam Newton is the man holding on to the top spot of the 19 as they work in turn 2.
Cofield trying to work this outside lane. Pappas going to try to come up and block. Newbert was going to go with Cofield, but that has straight up died out. Now, here comes Larson. Larson going to jump up to the top side. He found a hole. He's going to jump up in front of old Timmy Hammond. Take Cole Larson to the lead, but it's not over yet. Smith is going to shove Newton going through 3 and 4, door to door off turn 4.
This is the excitement of the NASRA DSR Electric Truck Series, and you're tuned in to the NASRA 360 Racing Network. It's the Florida Cabinet Distributors Duels from virtual iRacing Daytona. I am Wesley Outland, Mr. Jacob Reeves, the redneck announcer and the host of the Door Bang and Download on social media alongside, and Cody Knott in the driver's seat, now the production chair. Shades of what Timothy Hammond did in Duel 1. Now he's in the driver's seat from production. Now racing in Duel 2. It's Newton, the leader. We're closing in on the halfway mark in about a handful of laps, and it's still Newton at the bottom in 3.
And they're going to hang out Cole Larson as Hammond saw Cofield getting a run with Cherry right behind him. Adam Lichty out there in the live chat. Any beef yet? Son, the night is still young. I promise you, the night is still young. It wouldn't be a NASRA broadcast without any beef, Wesley. But we'll see what happens. It's Daytona. It ain't a short track.
Right.
And it's duel number 2 here at Daytona for the big race next week.
And the lyrics of the song by Rihanna, "The Night is Still Young and So Am I." So right now, we'll see what happens now as we watch these guys work their way again to the super stretch. Newton on the inside. Here comes the outside lane. A little pushing, a little shoving going on. That's Timothy Hammond. Hammond's also got some help behind him in the likes of Jonathan Cofield. Sweet Home, Alabama. First time we mentioned him tonight as he works up the racetrack in 3.
Yeah, and he just straight up hung out Hammond. I mean, he didn't want anything to do with it. Now Cofield wants to get up here and lead. He knows how to get it done. Talking about Alabama, he knows how to get it done at Talladega, too. Just basically a sister track, I guess you could say, to Daytona. Here he is up front. He's got Larson right behind him. Tribune now going to slide up into that hole. Hammond got 3 or 4 right behind him. But now they may have to think about jumping to the middle of the lane. Nope, Tribune's going to jump to the top side. He's going to try to carry him.
By the way, we mentioned Justin Lumpkin a moment ago. Darren Lumpkin chimed in and chatted and said, I want to say thanks to all of the NASRA family for their thoughts and prayers for Justin's mother and my wife. We really do appreciate your caring hearts. Again, definitely one big family, whether it's in the broadcast booth for the NASRA competitors. It takes a village, and when we're all hurting or celebrating, we're all in this together, and we are thinking continuously about the Lumpkin family. Right now, it is, of course, the driver in that purple machine, Adam Newton in the lead. Here comes a little shuffle now happening with Kerry Tribune on the outside lane. Third row forming. Green flag pit stops on the horizon, and halfway next time by, they work into 1.
And one thing about it, Wesley, we were talking about it a while ago. This middle and outside lane are in trouble if they want to make a pit stop right here with these guys on the inside. Inside lane has the advantage to make that pit stop. Everybody middle and outside, they are in trouble. They're basically screwed unless they want to jump to the middle, or the bottom rather. We'll see how it works. Cofield, he's going to get clear. He's going to jump down to the bottom side. Tribune Hammond up top. Larson Cherry right behind them. But Cofield, Jonathan Cofield from Alabama has the lead. Will they make a pit stop? Here comes Newton, and here comes some of them.
Some of them are peeling down the pit lane, and here they come. It's the cavalry of Newton, Gregory, Newbert, Lumpkin, Thomas, Lester. First group on pit lane. 1 lap to the halfway mark. The leaders race on again into turn number 2.
And odds are I would expect a good bit of them to go ahead and make a pit stop this time around and mirror exactly what they are doing. Larson, he is going to have that lead. Cofield's still going to stay right behind him. Tribune trying to get all the help that he can get. Hammond's going to shove all the way to the top side. He's going to get hung out to dry. Larson, Cofield, Smith, that's the top 3. They get clear. Now here comes Peacock, Taylor Peacock, the 4th truck on the inside. Will they make a pit stop off turn 4? Yes, they will.
Yeah, normally we see it monkey see, monkey do. The first group comes in, they pull onto pit road, and normally the second group, but follow their crashing is now the 27. Smith wrecked on pit road entrance. The 55 with a problem, driving in the grass of Ryan Murphy. He spins in the middle of the infield below the up top of the Daytona logo, and they're now going to make him toe to pit road, halfway home, 20 down, 20 to go, and action happening during green flag pit stop as now Cole Larson, the new leader in Daytona.
Cole Larson, he's got Jonathan Cofield right behind him. When will they make this pit stop? They've got to make it this time right here. Coming to 19 laps to go, Wesley, if they want to have a shot to try to stay with this pack. We'll see what they do. Every single one of them is going to elect to make that shot and jump down pit road. Raul Meza has already made his pit stop. Cofield getting dirt tracking going into the pits.
Green flag pit stops happening now. 20 laps down, 20 to go. Look at now, and when they catch each other, I think it's going to be between Peacock and Newton as the new leaders. As right now, it looks like it's Adam Newton holding the fray behind him. Adam Newbert, welcome back to NASRA. Driver, of course, from Toccoa, Georgia, the season 1 champion of this series. Kind of took a hiatus, took time off. Family, work. He's a man of the military as well. Jacob, thank you for your service. Adam Newbert, good to have you back. And right now, he has worked his way into the race as they go on into 1 and 2.
And he's really, he's showing why he is the regular season, or the first season champion, I should say. He might have shook a little bit of rust off, but he's showing them how to get it done. Here they come. They shoot around everybody that was on the pit road. Here comes Newton. Now Newbert, now Lumpkin, everybody lining up, shooting right around all of them. Cofield's going to get bypassed. Aaron Varetta, he's going to get bypassed. Newton trying to go all the way to the front, and he is going to make it as he is going to shoot past Kerry Tribune, take Adam Newton to the front of this field.
Newton, Newbert, Lumpkin, Lester, Peacock, top 5. Can we go side by side to thank some sponsors? We're going to try to do that right now if we can. Obviously, Premier Racing Setups is one of our premier partners. Thanks to them, normally under 20 to go, we promote those sponsors. We also probably want to thank Murph's Magical Creations and everyone else that we can. Some of those sponsors coming up, as right now it is Adam Newton leading the way as that goes on. Down the back stretch, it is the 19. We'll step away and come right back. Back here at Daytona, and remember a few moments ago we were speaking of Daytona and the big one, the NASRA 500 presented by Glass Mechanic. Look at that, Jacob Reeves. Even NASRA's got its own special logo for the big show coming up on February 2nd through the 8th. Look at the beautiful logo that's just been unveiled. You're seeing it now for the first time. Everybody that's watching, look at that.
Wow, that right there will bring a tear to your eye, Wesley. It really will. That is an absolute beautiful logo. NASRA 500, February the 8th. It's going to be an absolute blast. Got dual races, heat races, all that crazy stuff leading up to that event. That is going to be an absolute blast to call that one with you. But I'll tell you what, we're getting a little bit of action right here in duel number 2. How about some of these old boys up here? They ain't playing around. Newbert, Newton up here with Cofield. All of them trying to rock and roll coming off turn 4.
A NASRA 500, the Great American Sim Race presented by Glass Mechanic, February 2nd through the 8th before this. And I'll be honest with you, it is the week before Speed Weeks, and it is the week before the Great American Race, the real NASCAR Cup Series Daytona 500. Believe it or not, it is less than 6 weeks away. Hope you can join us as well. Leader is Newton, 15 to go. He's on the back straightaway up in front.
And Newbert's still trying to give him the shove. You got Aaron Van Rada. I'm going to go with Van Rada. That's the best that I can go with it. We're going to have to get his name right sooner or later, Wesley. Because he's up here battling for the Duel 2 win up here. He has got Cofield right behind him. Van Rada up top. Newbert down on the bottom off turn 4.
It's Van Raalte, actually, guys. That's actually the car, truck number 83 of Van Raalte in the 3rd spot. He's right there in that position, battling. And right now we're watching that machine start to climb. And, man, when I see the 99 colors, I think of the X-Side colors of when Jeff Burton used to rocket that machine around the racetrack. And Aaron Van Raalte is now looking to try to go to the lead on Newton as we're going back straight away, door to door.
Well, I'll say this. If you want to make sure that you get your name right, put it up here at the front, right off the bat in your first season. That's how you get it. Van Raalte up top with Cofield. They're rocking and rolling. You got Peacock up top as well. And on the bottom side, you got Newton, you got Newbert, and you got the feel-good story of Justin Lumpkin down on the inside.
Unbelievable. Chris Cinnamon, winner of Duel number 1. The Spice Man chimes in and he says, who had money down on caution-free duels? I'm impressed with iRacing's newest update and the drivers of the NASRA series in both races. Meanwhile, Van Raalte hung up on the outside lane by some traffic. It goes up against the safer barrier, and just like from the penthouse to the outhouse goes now that truck. So does Van Raalte, free-falling like lyrics to Tom Petty's song, going into turn number 3.
Yeah, they absolutely hung him out. Cofield and Peacock, they're going to shoot right by him like he is sitting still. Gregory going to follow them as well. Newton down on the bottom side with Newbert. Cofield trying to get some. And like I said, watch out for this 81, Taylor Peacock. We watched him numerous times on super speedways, especially at Talladega and Atlanta. He knows how to get it done. Can he do it here at Daytona, even though it is a Duel number 2 as we see Van Raalte making a pit stop?
Yeah, Van Raalte, whatever's going on with him, I think it's an unscheduled pit stop for the X-Side batteries, number 99. Meanwhile, here comes the cavalry working down the back stretch. New leaders as Cofield is back up there battling with Newton, with Newbert. All these guys going at it again as they work their way into the corner.
Newbert still down on the bottom side. Everybody basically just holding formation. Coming this time, 11 laps to go. They keep it clean, keep it green. Chris Cinnamon, literally, I wouldn't have had money on it. I wouldn't have damn near, no way would I bet on this. No way would I have bet, honestly, Wesley Outland, that we would have caution free in both duels. I figured we would at least have one of them that would have been chaotic like you were talking about. But everything so far has been calm, cool, and collected until that final lap, and that is when all the chaos happens.
And believe it or not, they are working their way to the line. It will be 10 laps to go as they come off that back straightaway now. Working into the 3rd turn, it's Adam Newton. Let's give you your top 10 right now. Newton, Cofield, Newbert, Peacock, Lumpkin, top 5, bottom 5, Gregory, Lester, Kerry Tribune, Larson, Hammond now back up into that mix. Here they come down through the tri-oval, 30 laps down. Whoa, 10 to go, and it's probably going to get good in the neighborhood. And I ain't talking about your local Applebee's here at Virtual Daytona as they thunder into 1.
Yeah, this is going to get good, especially with them catching a lap truck. I believe that is Raul Meza. Yes, it is, and a 37. He's going to be down on the bottom side. You see him shoot right by your screen. Newton, we'll see which way he decides to go, and Meza's going to give him every bit of real estate down on the bottom side. Newton, he's going to get clear. Newbert and Cofield, they're going to go for second. Peacock's going to shove Cofield and try to get him back up to the door. Newton, that's exactly where he's going to go, but inside lane advances, outside has to fall back just a little bit.
Hold on to that spot right now. Newton in the lead. Watch them now working their way through the corner. Chris Cinnamon won Duel number 1 here. Who's going to be the man to win Duel number 2 here at Virtual Daytona for the Florida Cabinet Distributors Duels in Daytona? Don't forget the new season of NASRA fires up next Monday night. Same time, same network. Here they come. Newton on the inside, and we're not done yet with 8 to go.
Cofield getting a little bit sideways, and Peacock is basically just going to have to shove him at this point. I mean, there's no way down on it. Still a little bit of ways to go, but it shoved him just good enough. Cofield all gets it here at the lead. He's going to jump down to the inside lane, and now the 81 of Taylor Peacock. Gregory up top with Tribute off 4.
Thought about making a shove, a wiggle, a jiggle, a giggle, a bobble with the field. Somehow they stay in tow. It's now to the inside. Correction this time by 8 laps to go now. It is still going to be Cofield. He's in front. Peacock now up on the outside lane. The man that dominated with the most wins of the season for the regular season champion of season 4. He's now back up top as they work off 2.
And even with this double wide racing, we actually got a race for the lucky dog in the middle of all this right here. Meza and Thomas. Meza just went 1 lap down, both of them at the back of this pack. Meza right now currently is in front of Stephen Thomas, literally right there on your screen, both of them on the outside. If a caution was to come out, Meza will get the lucky dog, and Stephen Thomas has to be praying for another one.
Hoping that they can stay in line. There's some slow traffic up ahead. The 54 and the 80. Have at it, boys. Love the respect showed. Respect earned, respect given. Let them race. It goes on into turn number 1.
Hammond with a fantastic save. One on the bottom, one up top. Has straight up killed that outside lane. Cofield down on the bottom side. He's got Newton. Here comes Peacock. Outside lane ain't got a whole lot of numbers, but they got some pretty savvy super speedway racers up top. With Peacock, with Gregory, with Kerry Tribute. Only 3 of them right there, but they are in tight formation. They may have a run on Cofield and Newton off 4.
Tighter than a lid on a cookie jar. Here comes that field now stacked up like sardines. 6 trucks on the bottom and the top right there. Those 12 Dirty Dozen could win this thing. 6 laps to go. Ironically, they're not backing away from each other as they climb the bank into 1.
Newton still trying to give the shove to Cofield. Will Cofield elect to keep it down on the bottom? Or if the outside lane gets another run, will he jump up and try to put the block? He's not clear yet. If Peacock's going to get that run. Gregory giving it all he can, right straight up to the 81's tailgate. Shoves him all the way down the Daytona super stretch. Peacock trying to get clear. He is clear. Will he jump down to the bottom? Yes, he will, just across the nose of the 58 of Cofield. Now Gregory's going to lead that outside lane. He's got Tribute and Larson right behind him.
And you got Van Rattle, the lap truck now, what might have been for him up in front now, up ahead of the leaders to the line, cross the stripe. It's now an open hand. 4 fingers and a thumb from Barney. 5 laps to go. Here they come back into the corner. Who's going to be around on the other side as time winds down in Duel 2?
Woo, boy, they got real tight right there with Van Rada up top. Boy, I'm telling you, Gregory and them almost ended up turning him right there, but everybody gets through just barely. And now Gregory still has enough momentum and enough speed, I guess you could say. Well, he really ain't got much of a choice because Tribute is just straight up beating that tailgate all to pieces, shoving him going into 3, but the inside lane with Cofield and Peacock leading them, but everybody's up top, Wes.
Mad props and respect for everyone trying to get around lap traffic, and lap traffic returning the favor. Now we got problems. Jonathan Cofield slams the outside safer barrier. He's now turning southbound into northbound lane. He gets collected by another field of trucks. Trucks are scampering to miss the 58, and then we got trouble going into turn 1 as it happened through the tri-oval. A little bump draft gone wrong. Nowhere to go for Cofield. Maybe some other trucks got littered in the process. Maybe Kerry Tribute, maybe some others, but the caution is out for the first time. Here's a replay of what happened.
Yeah, this is actually typical. You see Kerry right here. He was all up in the back bumper of Stephen Gregory.
And look at Timothy Hammond.
Yeah, poor Timmy. I mean, just right there at a bad spot. But Kerry was trying to lift. Not real sure if he actually blew it up or if he was just trying to lift just to try to get some air on the front end, because you can't lock bumpers. You can, but at the same time, it closes off the radiator, and when it does, you can straight up lose a lot of water and oil pressure. Watch it once again. You got Kerry Tribute right here in the 70. Backs off a little bit. Cole Larson was not expecting it. Hits him in the right rear. Kerry's trying to straighten it out. Comes down, gets into Cofield. Timmy Hammond, just innocent bystander. And then there goes Raul Meza. Gets caught up in this. A number of other drivers as well. They waited for the chaos. They didn't wait till the last lap. But I had a feeling we was going to have chaos right here in the last 5 laps.
Yeah, they're going to say Cofield got collected in this. Obviously, worse for wear. Fred Lester, Adam Newton, Adam Newbert, Kerry Tribune, Raul Meza, and Timothy Hammond. Some of the names of drivers involved in that accident. As holy hell, where have you been, Robert Hill? He chimed in. I ain't heard from him in forever. Daytona has Daytona'd, and yes, it has happened indeed. Drivers are coming down pit road. Is this a smart thing, Jacob? With, of course, under 3 to go, we'll have a shootout coming up here.
Well, most of those guys that's going down right here, the likes of Timmy Hammond, Jonathan Cofield, they had damage. Aaron Van Rada, he's actually going to get the lucky dog because Thomas and Meza and all them, they got caught up in the accident. Van Rada ended up missing every bit of it. So, in a sense, he was not involved in the accident. He gets clear, and he will get back on the lead lap. We saw him up there leading a little bit. He's got a shot to get back in this thing, but most of those guys that's going down pit road right there, most of them's fixing damage. Some of them might have been right there on the edge of making it on fuel. Some of them might be actually saying, you know what, I think we're going to have another green-white checkered. Some of these guys up here at the front, they might not be able to pull it off. They might not have enough gas.
Overtime coming up from Daytona. This will let us step away and think our partners will decide the determining factor of the Florida Cabinet Distributors Duel 2 when we return.
Starbase 1552 Comics. We sell everything a collector would want. Comics, Funkos, action figures, and so many more. A real American comic book shop. We are online only. Starbase 1552 Comics. Find us on eBay Auctions.
Back here at Daytona, and we race on to the finish of the Florida Cabinet Distributors Duel 2 for the NASCAR DSR Electric Truck Series. Jacob Reeves, I'm Wesley Outland, Mr. Cody Knott on production. Thanks again to Timothy Hammond, who ran the production of Duel 1, jumped in the truck for Duel 2. Hopefully we can have Mr. Dean Hopton, our Australian redneck announcer. Jacob, I know we miss him. Hopefully we'll have him back here with us next week for the big race. And man, got a fun season ahead for the NASCAR DSR Electric Truck Series. I finally found myself looking at the schedule earlier this afternoon, and we're going to be racing all the way until July until we determine the champion, bud.
Yeah, absolutely. And July is going to be a great month for me. Obviously, talking about David Dean going to be in the house around July, which is going to be cool. But, you know, Wesley, you know, I talked about this as well. You know, this right here is a big deal for me because I've raced against, well, most of these guys for the past 2 seasons, and coming up here on the broadcast booth to, you know, give some insight on this and everything else. I got a lot of tendencies with a lot of these guys and how they race and everything else. And I'll be honest with you, it doesn't matter between seasons. These guys don't change. None of them has changed, not one bit. Peacock's still as good as he's ever been at super speedways. Lumpkin's been as good as well. Cofield, we saw him up front. Hammond, we saw him throw haymakers like he usually does. But some of these other guys that we haven't been talking about, well, we talked about them a little bit, but these new guys like Cole Larson, Luke Smith, these guys right here are guys we're going to have to be watching out for all the way to July. These guys may have a shot to even try to go for a championship 6 spot.
And by the way, I want to remind you that we will be back with you for every race. Jacob Reeves has been announced as the new announcer, joining me in the booth every Monday night. And we look forward to seeing what takes place with that as we come back to the green flag. It is overtime. Remember, 3 attempts if need be. They take the white flag. It's wreckers or checkers, and it's Taylor Peacock. He gets the jump on the inside. Watch out, though. Here comes now Gregory on the outside as they work into one.
And Gregory's basically got no choice, or Lumpkin, rather. He's got to stay with Gregory right here. He's probably got nobody right behind him, at least from what I can see, at least a teammate, rather. Smith, not a teammate. He may think about going with him, but we'll see what happens. Here comes this outside lane. Will Peacock try to jump up and block? No, he will not make that block as of yet. Outside lane still trying to form up. Peacock with Larson. It's going to get good off turn 4 coming to the wide.
Somehow they hold their line. This is going to take us all the way to the Darren Snell gun repair. 1 to go. White flag of the air. Gregory on the outside lane. He's got Peacock in tow. Back in the battle again is Larson. Here comes now also Lumpkin up top side. Is there 3 wide for the lead for the final time in turn 1?
And Luke Smith got up into the fence a little bit and absolutely killed the outside lane. Gregory's going to get smoked out of this as well, but up front, it's all Peacock. He's got Larson right behind him. Here comes Pappas in the 88. They're going to get turned right behind them. The big one's going to happen behind them. Front 2 all by themselves. Larson and Peacock coming off turn 4. It may be a photo finish.
Crashing, wrecking down to a duel here at the duel. It's Peacock going high. It's now Larson going low, and he turns him. Going around goes Peacock. Larson steals one here in Daytona, and they're still crashing below the start-finish line. Van Rattle gets rattled. He slams the outside safer barrier. Some other trucks get caught up in it also, and all of this happens as they come to the finish here of duel number 2. When it's said and done, a bump and run, Cole Larson, J.D. Larson, your boys won duel 2 in Daytona.
You take it for however you want, but Cole Larson's going to get him a win here tonight at Daytona. Peacock gets second. Thomas will get third. But tonight, it is all Cole Larson that gets it done. How about that right there? A young rookie coming in, getting duel 2, and a seasoned champion winning in duel number 1. What a finish. What a race. What 2 great races that we've had here tonight at Daytona. Yeah. I'm telling you, if the big one's going to be anything like it's seen here this evening, we're in for a treat next Monday.
Let's go back and watch the finish. I know there's a different mixtures of emotion of what we just saw. Obviously, I think Taylor Peacock, we're definitely going to get his thoughts on the subject. I know some people are for what they saw. Other people are literally pissed off of what they saw here at the finish of this race. Watch this now. Jacob set it up for us as our color man. What went wrong? What went right for the man there of Mr. Larson?
Larson, I mean, he basically, everybody else just kind of gets stacked up. You got everybody back and forth right here. Pappas gets involved, but really it's all Larson right here coming off forward. And watch Larson. He shoots high. Peacock jumps up, makes the block. Larson comes down. He was on the inside, and he may have come up just a little bit, and that's just one of those things. I mean, it's just a bad spot right there coming off of turn number 4. And, I mean, he made a move. Peacock blocked him. He went back down, and, yes, he did maybe just come up just a little bit, but I don't believe it was intentional in any way because you can't go below the double yellow line to improve your position. If you do, then NASRA officials will black flag you, and then he'll go all the way to the back. So it's a touchy deal right there. They were talking about beef. I think we may have just a little bit of beef out there in the chat on this one. But ultimately, Cole Larson gets the win.
Results from Daytona, and there it is. Cole Larson picking it up here, controversial or not. Taylor Peacock will finish second. Stephen Thomas third. We'll get some of these drivers' thoughts coming up in post-race in just a moment from the podium of Larson, Peacock, and Thomas. Shane Trotter, Aaron Van Rattle with even problems came back to finish at the top 5. Luke Smith, Kerry Tribute, Stephen Gregory, Jonathan Cofield, and the Bulldog Adam Newton even had a solid top 10 run. He was up there for a while there, Jacob.
Yeah, he absolutely was. I mean, Justin Lumpkin, solid finish for him this evening. He'll come home 11th with Phil Pappas in 12th. Those are the last drivers to finish on the lead lap. Fred Lester, Matt Cherry, 13th and 14th. Raul Meza, Chad Ross, 15th and 16th. Joshua Sust, Timmy Hammond. Boy, he had a shot. It just didn't pay off for him. He wound up finishing 18th here tonight. Adam Newbert will get 19th, and Hunt Wigington rounds out the top 20.
Yeah, I mean, again, when it's all said and done, there's the end of the rundown of the finish. Coming up here, we'll grab the podium and we'll grab the thing and hear the thoughts of these drivers. I'm looking forward to hearing what Taylor Peacock has to say on the subject, as well as Cole Larson, Stephen Thomas. And before we go to break real quick, Cody, show us once again, if you can full screen for us, the finish of the race, because some people are saying now there, Jacob, that it might have been a net code situation. It might have been that Larson was holding his line and net code might have possibly determined the finish of the race. Let's pick up the back stretch coming to the finish of the race going into turn number 3. What is your thoughts on this, Jacob, if you could go back and see it again on the 20?
Well, I mean, netcode is a big factor. You know, we've seen it numerous times here at super speedways. We've seen that happen where netcode does play a factor into it, and that's one of the risks that we take when we race at super speedways like Daytona, Talladega, or Daytona. Watch them right here coming off of turn number 4, or turn number 2 rather.
Yeah, that's just when the wreck happened.
All them, they end up getting collected in this, and then it just leaves Peacock and Larson right here at the front. And watch them right here as they rock and roll right here. Larson down on the inside. He's going to make that move, go to the top. Peacock's going to put the block, and then Larson comes down. Here's where they're talking about the net code right here. Was there net code involved? I don't know.
It looks to me like that's a left rear hook right there, man.
Yeah, that's what it looks like to me, honestly.
Oh, boy. Yeah. One more time, another look at it, and it looks like he got to the left rear. And maybe Peacock came down because he's obviously trying to throw the block, and that caused the contact. But obviously, you know what? You know my thoughts on the subject, Jacob. Last lap, every man for himself, and there's the outcome of what it was. And I love what Robert Hill just said. Robert said, man, they're going to be stinging for about 3 minutes. They're going to be ticked off. They'll say their thoughts on the subject, and then they'll set their sights on the big race next week. And I think that's exactly what they'll do. Cole Larson winning here in Duel 2 in Daytona. We'll hear from the podium when we come back next. Well, if you have never heard of the cliche, it's never over until it's over, even if you cross the line. We have an announcement to make. The NASRA officials have come together. The NASRA DSR Electric Truck Series officials have came together after numerous video images, replay from different angles. It has been determined that Cole Larson intentionally left rear hooked the 20 of Cole Larson on the 81 of Taylor Peacock. But with that decision, Larson has been disqualified. Larson is disqualified of the race win. The win will go to Taylor Peacock. And Taylor, congratulations, obviously. At one season ago, you were the regular season champ, the man that dominated in the regular season, most wins, and now you get a controversial win to start season 5. But your take of what happened, you think they got it right, buddy?
Yeah, I think so, but I mean, I wasn't mad at the situation. We were racing hard, you know, stuff happens. But it's nice to be on this end of the stick, I'll tell you that. I wasn't, you know.
You weren't expecting that, were you?
I wasn't expecting it, but I was warned that they were going to make a call. I wasn't surprised either way, to be honest. It is what it is.
And by the way, that victory gets an upfront sweep. I don't know if you know that as well.
We knew that.
Well.
We were hoping
Yes,
Steven could get the 1-2 as well. like we did the
Take
Phil
'em.
one.
Well, I mean, but Taylor, I was talking about you right before the race. I was sitting there going, you got to watch out for this guy right here, Taylor Peacock. He knows how to get it done at the super speedways like Talladega and Atlanta. You get you one here at Daytona. Now you basically you got the blinders on. You're ready to rock and roll big race next Monday night. What's the game plan now that you're up front?
Stay there. It's gonna be tough. Man, once stuff gets going 3 wide here, there's nowhere to go. I mean, that's why I'd rather be at the front. See what I'll test my luck up there, anyways.
Taylor, I want to get your honest answer on this, and please thank your sponsors. Congratulations again. But if you were in the position that Larson was in, would you have done the same thing?
I don't think. I don't know if he meant to right hook me or not. It turned out that way. He definitely came up off the line. I don't think it was intentional. I really don't. I wouldn't have right hooked somebody, no.
Well, it wasn't a right rear hook. It was a left rear hook.
Or left, whatever, yeah. Hooking, no, I wouldn't have did that on purpose or no. Nor do I think Cole did it on purpose.
Gotcha. Well, buddy, congratulations. Before I let you go, thank your sponsors, man.
Thank you guys for the broadcast. I can't wait to go back and watch it. Do a damn good job every time. Thanks to Brady for putting this on. I can't wait for next Friday. Hopefully I see you guys again in the winner's circle.
Yeah, Taylor Peacock, by the way, will be in a very good starting spot next Monday night for the lid lifter of Season 5. I think I said Season 6 earlier. My apologies. I've been doing this for too long. Season 5 of the NASCAR DSR Electric Truck Series. Taylor Peacock, again, getting the win after Cole Larson, who crossed the line first, was disqualified by the tower. Let's grab now the man that will finish in second. It is Stephen Thomas. Stephen in the 44. Man, what's your take on what was going on in front of you? Obviously trying to survive that big wreck in 3 and then watching what went on, and then you get a runner-up spot. You got to be happy with it, right?
Yeah, I mean, I was lapped down with 4 laps to go. So
yes.
Finishing second was a surprise, and I'll gladly take it.
And, Stephen, I mean, you come out of this right here. I mean, we seen you make it to the Championship 6 last season for the DSR Electric Truck Series. And then you come out here, and basically it's like, I mean, didn't even change, really. I mean, you come out here and you get it done. I mean, how is it riding momentum from the end of a season and then come to another season and just be able to just hit that light switch and just click and to be able to carry it over to the next season? What's that like?
Oh, man. I take every race and every season the same as far as surviving in this league. You just have to make it to the end, and you'll have a chance to, at least finish top 10, top 5. If I get a win, great. But my goal every season is just to have a bunch of top 5s, a bunch of top 10s, and stay alive each race. So I rode around in the back at Super Speedway, like always, and found myself a lap down and got a lucky caution and got lucky, man. Like I said, I always just try to stay alive in these races, and you can get a good finish. So I guess I just ride it into next season, trying to stay alive and stay consistent.
Stephen, I know in years past there's been things that have happened where maybe you've been a little frustrated with the finishes, frustrated with the tower. Do you feel like they got it right with your teammate there?
I haven't went back and looked at what just happened. I know I seen Taylor throwing some hellacious blocks there, so I don't know, if he got underneath of him and thought another block was coming, so he turned right to stay from wrecking, or if he turned right to wreck him and win the race. I have to go back and look at it, but Brady is very fair all the time, man. I don't think he biased by no means. So if he made the call, I'm sure it's a correct one. If it's not, it's a very 50-50 call. So it is what it is.
And one of those calls where, look, you can't appeal it. And we'll talk about that before we go off the air, Jacob Reeves, about when a race director makes the call. This is not an appealed call. This is a call that's being made in the discretion of what happened on the racetrack as a race director call. Shades of like what happened with Logano and Austin Dillon. If NASCAR would have said immediately, hey, you're DQ'd for what you did, there would have been no way to appeal that decision instead of waiting 3 days later and then going through the appeal board. And NASCAR does have, for the iRacing Sanctioning League, an appeal board as well. Stephen, man, final question. Please thank your sponsors, but what's your take on what's to come in Season 5 of this series?
I hopefully another good one and a lot less wrecks throughout the whole season, man. That's what I hope the season goes forward this season. Yeah, I want to thank DSR Electric and Dan and everything he does for Nazra and Swim and Chrome. I want to thank Millie's Restaurant and Catering, A's Lawn and Landscaping, Justin Lumpkin for all the new paint schemes he brought up for us tonight. I love the 44. It's looking good. Jack's mowing and more. Darren's nail gun. You guys in the broadcast, every night doing y'all's thing. Brady and the whole team at Nazra. Appreciate it, guys. Everybody watching.
There you go. There's the thoughts of Stephen Thomas. And again, up front, Motorsports Trio 1, 2, 3. Let's grab now Shane Trotter. I think, honestly, Jacob Reeves, this is the first time we've ever talked to Shane Trotter. Shane, welcome to the broadcast booth, buddy. Your take of finishing on the podium in the trio spot, and what a wild one here in Daytona. Your take of your season to come as well.
I just want to finally finished one. That's been the story of my racing and my Nazra career so far. Is we have good trucks and we just don't find a way to finish. I got lucky there for once, and I'm just thankful for a third place finish and really excited about next week. I've been really running well through super speedways in this series, and just got wrecked in spots that happen at super speedway racing, and I'm just thankful for Cody not bringing me on board, and really excited for this season.
Yeah, absolutely, Shane. I mean, you're running with, Dragon Racing or Dragon Motorsports, whichever one it is. Cody Knott's probably going to be a little bit mad that I probably messed that one up. But anyway, I mean, you talked about it, your struggles that you've had throughout here in Nazra, and then you just come out right here, out of the gate right here with Season 5, come out and get a podium finish here. I mean, and you earned it. By all means, you earned that finish because, I mean, you survived the chaos. What's this like right here? I mean, can this actually be some momentum to go to the big race and then carry through the season that is the DSR Electric Truck Series and be able to make it into the playoffs this year?
Jacob, it's been close. Like, I've been really close to getting really good finishes in the series, and I've just cost myself. And that's something I'm learning. I've been on iRacing since June, so I'm still new to it a little bit, and got to learn when to push and when not to push the truck. So, I think I can carry it. Super Speedways are my bread and butter. I love them. Big Earnhardt Jr. fan growing up. Love the draft. Love what you can do with it. Love how you can make moves when other people can't. Not going to say we can make the playoffs, but I haven't looked at the schedule yet, but with some Super Speedways on it, you win and you're in. There's a chance. So, I mean, I'm just wanting to get the 22 truck in victory lane because it's been a long time coming.
Well, you got definitely a long season ahead for sure. You have, of course, the duels here tonight. The big show starts of the DSR Electric 250 for this points championship run next Monday. And obviously, Shane, if you could find a way to win this thing, you win the race. If you're a full-time guy, you're in the playoffs. I mean, that's got to be a good feeling knowing that it's a long road to the middle of July whenever the champion will be crowned.
Yeah, it's a long season, so I just got to be consistent. Take finishes when I can get them, and don't push the truck too hard. Just get what you can get out of it and just finish races, because that's how you can point your way into the playoffs as well. It's just being consistent, getting finishes every week, and not wrecking out of races. That's the biggest thing.
All right, buddy. Sponsors, thanks for your time.
I'd like to thank Van York Toyota. That's where I work at in High Point, North Carolina. That is what I will run all year on the truck, the 22 Toyota Tundra. I want to thank everybody that's helped me so far with this. I want to shout out a guy that helped me a lot in one of my other leagues, Jordan Booth. He is a trainer that worked with me, and we've been working hard, and it's finally good to see the results pay off, and ready to get back to Daytona next week. And if we win, we're gonna burn it down.
Dane, I'm trying to remember, buddy. Have I met you before? Don't you go to the real racetracks? Was it Caraway and Hickory Ace, something like that? Haven't I met you before?
I don't know if we ever met before. I live about 5 minutes from Caraway, so gonna go back out there when the Cars Tour goes there this year. So I'd like to meet up. But man, just excited. Appreciate y'all for having me. Want to thank everybody at Nazareth, Brady, all them guys, Cody, everybody that brought me on. I appreciate it, and ready for a great 2025. Let's roll.
And by the way, shameless plug, Caraway Speedway will be having their Winterfest on January 25th if you want to come out to that race as well. So there you go. The name Trotter, I think I've announced races before. We've had some U cars or mini stock names with the name Trotter. I didn't know if it was you or not. So, well, there it is. Shane Trotter will finish in the 3rd spot. Okay, so Jacob, this is just between me and you as broadcasters. See if you feel like they got it right. I think that they did. Going back, looking at replay from multiple different camera angles, I feel bad for Cole Larson. I really do, but I do think that there was definitely something that had to be called in the finish of that race, for sure. Do you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. I do agree. I mean, you never really want to win a race like that, and obviously, I agree with Taylor. What he said. I don't believe that was intentional by no means. I mean, Cole Larson. That kid has got a bright future in sim racing. I think he's 13 years old, somewhere in that range. So he's got a bright future ahead of him. And that's just one of those things, when you get in that situation and you're going for it and everything else. I mean, it was unintentional of what happened, and I hate to see him get DQ'd for it, but I agree with the call 100%. And like you were talking about as far as, the penalties and the appeals and all that stuff, when it comes to a finish like this right here, folks, they ain't going to appeal that. That's nowhere in that. That's, as far as EOLs and stuff like that, when that stuff kind of happens, that's when you end up having that appeals process. But when you come to a finish like this right here and it comes down to something like this, especially for a win like this, yeah, they're not going to appeal that 9 wasted Sunday. So I agree with what Bray LaBeouf made the call on it. And I agree with Stephen Thomas. He's fair and he's firm on his calls, and I agree with it.
Yeah, some of the other people in the chat box, some agree, some disagree, but at the end of the day, they're not the powers that be with the North American Sim Racing Association of the DSR Electric Truck Series. They make the final call. Hey, we mentioned the Nazareth DSR Electric 250 at Daytona. That will be next Monday, the Season 5 lid lifter for the Monday Night Series. In addition, get ready, Daytona, the big one, the Nazareth 500. We unveiled it earlier. Let's unveil it again, sir. There it is, that beautiful logo. Cody, I know you can kind of make it bigger as well. Make that sucker close up the whole screen. Look at this beautiful logo that the powers that be of Nazareth have created. It's going to become a lot more enlarged for you. Look at this thing, man. I love the graphics, whoever came up with it. And, of course, big thanks to Glass Mechanic for sponsoring the Great American Sim Race. Jacob, let everybody know, because you were a part of Podium for a time or two calling events. Basically, the Podium 500 is the race that this is now known as the Nazareth 500. What a big honor for Nazareth to get the opportunity to sanction and be able to put on this big event. And hopefully a lot of people will support what used to be the Podium 500, and now it is the Great American Sim Race, the Nazareth 500.
Yeah, absolutely, Wesley. I mean, this is obviously the Great American Sim Race, and obviously Podium had it, and they had their troubles, and Nazareth picked it up, and you can't pick a better race league, better organization to pick up the biggest sim race, in my opinion, out of the whole year, which is the Great American Sim Race, the Nazareth 500, presented by the Glass Mechanics. So this is a big step right here for Nazareth. I'll be joining you, as far as I know, in the booth on that one, and it's going to be an absolute blast. I mean, we've had, when I done it with Podium and everything, we had some of the biggest names that was doing it, and now those big names are going to come to Nazareth, and this sucker is just going to absolutely explode right here. So this is going to be a big one, folks. I'm telling you. Yeah, look, Wesley called it. You ain't got nothing to worry about. There ain't going to be no Super Bowl. If there is, don't even worry about the damn thing. Worry about the Nazareth 500. It's going to be the best thing, guaranteed. It'll be the best thing in sim racing and the best thing on YouTube that day on February the 8th.
Well, I mean, the Super Bowl's the next night, so you can still watch the Super Bowl. But, of course, yes,
well,
speaking of the Daytona 500, that will be the following Sunday on the 16th, and all of that leading up to the big show. And, by the way, in addition to that, I just want to throw this out there as well. February I want to say it's the 4th or the 3rd, February 3rd through the 8th. So there is literally going to be preliminary action all leading up to this big race on Saturday, February the 8th for the NASRA 500. There will be preliminaries. There will be a qualifying night. There will be the duels, just like you saw this evening. There will be ways, Jacob, that you can buy back. You can race your way back in to one of those 43 spots, because I got a feeling there's going to be hundreds of drivers will have to, as they say, trim the fat or thin the herd for the 40 best, and that race will be determined on Saturday for 500 miles on February the 8th. Go to NASRA Racing on social media, Discord, and get signed up. Jacob, it's going to be an honor to be able to call this one with you. I know we got a couple of other people I think we're going to have join us in the booth, but, man, as you and me in the lead chairs, it's going to be a fun race indeed, sir.
Yes, sir. I mean, NASRA's going to bring their A game for it, and I'll be happy to be up in the broadcast booth with you on that one on February the 8th and all the way through it. It's going to be an absolute blast, folks. I'm telling you, mark your calendars. Like he was talking about, Super Bowl's going to be that Sunday, whatever. But this is going to be the big one right here. It's the NASRA 500. I mean, this right here, like I said, it is going to explode for NASRA. It's going to explode in sim racing. Everybody is going to be talking about this. And if you ain't got your entry in, go ahead. I mean, we're hearing there's 82 people already signed up for this thing, and only 40 spots is going to get took. So, like you said, the thinning of the herd will commence that week in February.
And I have no doubt that the week leading to that race, you'll probably see a lot more entries come in into the close to 200 or 300 range. I really predict that, no doubt about it. All right, let's put that one in the rearview mirror. That is the duels here in Daytona. Jacob Reeves, your final take of tonight's Florida Cabinet Distributors duels. Much clean racing, had that crazy finish there at the end, but just kind of typical Daytona. Now we settle in for the big show for 100 laps next week. Your take of tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it was a fantastic evening. I mean, Duel 1, you saw Chris Cinnamon from the old, don't take that the wrong way, Chris, but I mean, you had the old guard, a past champion, come in and get it done, and then you had the whole deal right there with Cole Larson, Taylor Peacock, however you want to look at it out there in the live chat. It is what it is. I agree with the call. And Taylor Peacock, who knows how to get it done on the super speedways, he's going to be up there at the front as well. It's going to be an absolute blast for the big race next week, and also the whole season all the way to July, crowning a new champion. It's going to get good, Wesley. We're going to have beef all the way around. We're going to have all kinds of stuff going on all the way to July. I cannot wait.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about it. And don't forget, coverage begins at 8:50 Eastern time next Monday night for the NASRA DSR Electric 250 for the NASRA DSR Electric Truck Series Season 5 opener on the NASRA 360 Racing Network. Hey, things are kind of getting back to full swing again in 2025. Don't forget to join Jacob and myself tomorrow night for the next round of the NASRA Blanchard's Towing Xfinity Series. Will be at the Michigan International Speedway for the, of course, Glass Mechanic 200. Coverage begins tomorrow night at 8:55 Eastern Time. Green flag 9 on the NASRA 360 Racing Network. On Wednesday, the NASRA Cup Series is back in action at the Super Speedway, Atlanta Motor Speedway. That is the Serve Pro 225. That is the NASRA Xfinity tomorrow night. The trucks are the Cup Series on Wednesday. And if that wasn't enough with the NASRA Cup Series presented by TLC Incorporated and Premier Racing Setups, the Cops Truck Series is nearing their championship reign, and they got the Concerns of Police Survivors 250 this Friday night from the Nashville Super Speedway. All of that coming up this week ahead on the NASRA 360 Racing Network. I'd like to know how you can become a member of NASRA. Go to NASRA-racing.com. Racing on Monday through Friday. Working on something new on Thursday, but we do want to say thank you to Goat Locker Racing for their service the last couple of seasons, letting us sanction their programs. I know Jacob was the lead anchor for that. Again, tonight, the dual winners, Chris Cinnamon, and when it's all said and done, it is the driver of Mr. Taylor Peacock. So, for Timothy Hammond and for Cody Dodd on production for the duels here tonight, for Brady LaBeouf and TJ Moore, the race directors for the NASRA DSR Electric Truck Series. Miss you, Dean Hopton. Hope you have Mr. Biggles back next week. For Jacob Reeves, the redneck announcer, I am Wesley Outland. Congratulations to those drivers. We'll see you next Monday night for the Season 5 lid lifter for the NASRA DSR Electric Truck Series. Happy New Year, and the new race season is upon us of 2025.